Okay, so apparently a couple of my friends wanted to see me do something like a makeup thing. Since I have a lot, apparently. I didn't think I had a lot, but you know, I guess maybe I do. Anyway, I'll just do my basic makeup routine. I'll do a basic for day one first, one that I would do if I was just going to class and I really just wanted to do something quick. And then another one that I would do if I was gonna go, I wanted to be more impressive or whatever. Shush, Athena, you're asleep. Anyhow, first thing I start off with is just a basic face moisturizer, which is good because your face needs moisture. Also helps prep your skin for all the makeup you're about to put on it. I don't think there's any particular brand that's better than another. I just picked this one out of a store. I told my friend, I was like, I have dry skin during the winter time. What's a good brand? And she just picked this one out and was like, use this. And I was like, okay. So that's the one I use. Then I use concealer. Mostly because anyone who knows me knows I stay up late a lot. So I cover up I try to cover up my dark circles. But you know, if I'm going to put on concealer, I'm going to put it on everywhere that I want it. So the bridge of the nose to highlight it, right under the eyes, around the nose where it gets red, and the mouth where it gets red. Anywhere else I want to cover up. And there's like some bite marks from my cat because I was giving her a bath and she didn't agree with me. And then yeah, that looks super scary, but then you just blend it out. I do this with my fingertips in general because the fingertips help melt it a bit better than using a brush or a sponge or whatever. But you can use whatever you want as long as it works for you, whatever. I'm not going to judge you. So yeah, once I get all of that just blended into my skin as best as I can, which always looks a little bit weird because I choose a concealer that is lighter than my skin because it's easier to use a lighter concealer and then cover that up with something a little bit darker than it is to use a concealer that is exactly your skin color, and then once you start layering over it, it'll look weird. Anyway, then I use this foundation. I have no preference in brand and foundation, just one that matches my skin color is the one I use. And then I also use my hands for this, though you should probably use a brush. But my skin doesn't give me that many problems. So that's why I use my hands. And I also go down into the neck because you don't want that awkward line. Yeah, see? Even the categories. You don't want that awkward line. Then powder. I mainly use this to set everything. And some people like to do this whole skin routine after they do their eye makeup because sometimes eye makeup can get, oh yeah, and tap it so you get some of the powder off. Sometimes the powder from your eye makeup can get all over the rest of your face. And that is not fun to clean up, but you know what? I'm a rebel. Alright, and I also blend this into the neck area. Okay, so you know what? I think I'll go with doing bronzer next. Sometimes I do eye makeup first just because, but whatever, we'll do bronzer next. Alright, and so for the bronzer, I take the same brush I use for my for the general powder that I just used. And run that over bronzer, tap to get the excess off. Then I flatten it like this. Then right here, right here, and then right along the jawbone. And what I'm doing right here is I am basically highlighting the areas of the face with the bronzer that would normally be a little bit in shadow anyway, and this helps sculpt your face and make it look a little bit thinner. Not that I need to look thinner, but you know, it's cool. So same right here, right there. And I don't use a ton because otherwise you're gonna look crazy, like weird bronzy, but just enough to give that extra little push. And there is some foundation on my skin. I'll take care of that in a second. And then depending on the color palette I use, one second, I don't have any Kleenexes nearby me, do I? I have paper towels though, those will work. But depending on the color palette I use, I'll either use bronzer or my normal blush for this next step, but since I'm going to be using a warm, more golden palette this time, I'm going to use my bronzer for this. And this is just lightly brushing over the areas where the sun hits the skin naturally. And then for the cheeks, I just use bronzer, or not bronzer, blush. And I don't have that many shades of blush or bronzer. I just have like the same ones that I use all the time because I don't get complicated with those. And then you smile, the apples, and then just pull up. Alright, and then that's done for the face. Only took 6 minutes, not that bad. So, for basic eye makeup, I'm going to be using this palette right here. And this is a golden bronzy palette. What is it called? I don't even know what it's called. I just pick up the ones that I like. Yeah, you can find this kind of color scheme pretty much anywhere. It's not that hard. And so I take my basic blush brush, which I got from MAC so long ago that the MAC logo has worn off. It's like 6 years old. If you take care of your brushes, especially really nice ones like MAC brushes, they can last you a long time. So what I do is I tend to start out with the light color, and then you get the brow bone first, highlight right under your eyebrows. And yeah, no, I didn't even sculpt my eyebrows, but I like the shape of my eyebrows as is, and I don't really feel the need to go crazy on them. Okay, and then just a little bit more in the corners of the eyes to bring the light in. Okay. Then, now this this step you can do really one of two things, but I'm going to take, so I just took, it's backwards. I took that and put that on my brow bone and right in the corner of my eyes. And this one I'm going to put all over my lid. You can also do it with the coppery tone, but I'm going to show you how we're going to just quickly do something that will enhance your eyes. I like how I'm talking like a professional. Anyway, so gold color all over the lid. And you don't really need to go that heavy. As I said, this is just like my everyday going to class look. Alright, I'm going to just dab a little bit more because this eyelid doesn't take color as well as this eyelid. Don't ask me. It's difference in skin, whatever, weirdness. Okay, anyway, then I tend to blend out with my fingers because, I mean, I could get a blending brush, but I already have a lot of brushes. And then I just get mixed up and like somehow, like I'll just need more brushes, so I use my fingers for a lot of things. If you do use your fingers a lot like me, you need to keep them wiped off because otherwise you're going to end up with all sorts of colors all over your face. So then I'm going to go back to our palette and get that coppery tone. Get that all over the brush. And then I'm just going to press that into the crease, then right on the edge, and then drag it up, and then blend it out with my fingers. A little bit more in the crease. And then do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Looking good. And then I'm going to add some more gold because I feel like sometimes you want to layer the gold on top. And this is where you're kind of sculpting your eye shape too, because if you'll notice, gold is right here on the ball of my eye, and then the copper is everywhere else so that my eyes seem larger. And then finally we have this brown at the bottom, which I'm just going to use really simply. I'm also going to pull this into the crease and do it thinner than I did the copper tone. And then this is really just like sort of an accent right here. You don't want to go too heavy with this on a day look especially, because then it just looks weird and overdramatic. I mean, unless you're fine with your makeup being overdramatic, which sometimes I am too, so whatever. Alright, and once you got that done, I'm going to take my angled brush and I'm going to use that brown that we have as an eyeliner. Although I kind of like using this brown more, but if you just have this one, I like how I'm talking over there, it's over here. But if you just have this one, you can use this one, but I like to use this one because it's a bit darker. And this one has a broken hinge because it's old. And yeah, I don't use pen or pencil eyeliners because my eyes have a serious case of not being able to stand anything that looks like a pen near them. So yeah, usually what you should do is wet this down before you do this, but I'm a rebel. Don't follow my example, kids. So I just get a good amount on there. I tap it off because this is the stage usually where you have a lot of fallout. And then I start with the middle, I drag out, and then I go slowly towards the inner corner. And then I usually wing it up a bit just because I'm fancy like that. And then I'm using brown, not black, because black is way too harsh for, I want to say a lot of looks actually. Not even just for day versus night. Like this warm tone, this warm sort of palette, it doesn't need any more blacks because what are you doing? And then I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. Get up. Alright, and then we're done with the eyes. And so this is just the eye look for, and then I have this little eyebrow / eyelash comb. I like to use it on my eyebrows just to get them in order because they are bushy and I like that they're big and thick and bushy, but you know, they can get out of hand really quickly. It's just a nice little finishing touch. And then so for the day look, I would just use something like this sort of light pink color. Not light pink, I guess it's more of a mid-tone pink, but put that all over. And then I'd probably finish off with, where was it? Right here. With this nice gloss. Now, see? It's a nice little day look. Now that's what I would do for a day look. If I wanted something that's a little bit more dramatic, or even if I was going to get myself photographed for something, you know, pictures, portraits, whatever, I would go even further because photographs tend to take away a lot of your makeup look And like, I know this because I cosplay, I did, you know, costume stuff, and, you know, it didn't matter how much makeup I put on, the costume would take away from all of it, and the photograph would take away from all of it too. So yeah, basically, what I would do is I would get out another one of my palettes. See, this is where you go from like one palette to like 3 different ones. So this is the Hip High Intensity Pigments palettes from L'Oreal Paris. And then I would take, and these are seriously intense pigments. These are not necessarily for everyday use, but they really intensify the colors. So I would put the gold right on the ball of my eye, and I'm gonna have to reapply my eyeliner. Great. And I don't know if you can see it, but you can kind of see it. It's way more intense on this one. And then do it on the other eye, of course. You can see like my entire room with my mirror right now. Sure. Oh, you can see my Converse, you can see my AC adapter. Alright, and then notice we have a black color as well. So I'm actually going to take the angled brush and use this to help add in more definition instead of just the blender brush, because I want this to be a little bit more of a precise shape. So I go right in the crease again, drag it out, then going along the eye line, then blending out with my fingers. And then see, it's much more dramatic. I'm just like touching this up. I haven't like added on top of like already done makeup face, so I'm like, oh my god. And then you can do like a more smoky eye or whatever like this, but I'm not doing smoky eyes. My friends asked me to do warm colors, so whatever, I'm doing warm colors. Screw you guys. It's always kind of hard for me to like get this eye to take the makeup as evenly as the other one, because I told you this eye has crazy skin. Okay, and then just because this wasn't exactly planned, I'm going to go back over that with the darker brown and a bit of the copper that we have from our previous palette, and get it just a little bit more blended into the skin. So I'm just going to go right in that crease. There is a dog outside making some noise. I don't even know. Because I just want this to look a little bit more smooth and blended. Alright. And then considering we went so bright with our rest of our makeup, I'm going to take that white we used before, and I'm going to put it, and then using the angled brush, because the angled brush holds a lot more of the pigment than normal brushes. You can even use your fingertips, I think, but my fingertips are sort of covered right now and I don't feel like going and washing them off. I'm just going to push that pigment back into the corner of my eyes. And then, pretty much done with the eyes now. You can also do some more fancy stuff, like I kind of like lining the corner bottom of my eyes with gold. Just because I'm like, oh, you know what, that's fun. Let's do that. Alright. Actually, I lied. We're not done with the eyes, of course. We have to give them mascara because this is a night look and you have to be dramatic. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And some people apply the mascara before doing the curling, but I don't know. I like to keep it a little bit cleaner than that. Oh, and I forgot to reapply my eyeliner. It'll be quick. See, this is why you should really do it in order and you just shouldn't put makeup over makeup because then it just gets ridiculous. Alright, anyway, let me just quickly. I'm going to mix the dark brown that I used before with the black, just a touch of black, because I don't want it to be too heavy. And really the eyeliner is to help define the top line of your eye, which you lose when you put all that makeup on top of it. That'll have to be good enough for now. Alright, and then probably want to intensify your cheeks for a night look just a bit more. And then for the final thing, for a night look, I always like to put away the pink and go with red. Yeah. That was the, like, quick, fast, and dirty way of removing makeup. Oh my. That'd be a perfect time for my phone to go off. Alright, get some red lipstick. Oh, I should probably line my lips. Is this it? Right here. Okay. So, if you're going to put on red lipstick, you should line your lips so that it holds better. And lasts longer. Especially for a night look. I should say just dramatic look, because who knows? Could be wearing this in the middle of the day. Espionage and crap. Okay. Now that the lips are lined, they look a little weird. Where the heck did I put my... Oh, there it is. This is the risk you run with red lipstick. It's really easy to fuck up. Alright, now you have a night look. And really, when you're doing makeup, you should be thinking of just which part of your face do you want to accentuate the most. And usually with day looks, I tend to go with my lips, or no, my eyes. And then with a more dramatic night look, I go with my lips. And just for a little bit of pizzazz, I'll just put on a little bit of gloss just in the middle. And then that's basically it. And this is just basic stuff. Like, this isn't really complicated. I've used like two or three different palettes. Like, these two were the main ones, and I used this as more of an eyeliner than anything else. So, I mean, yeah, I can show you the brushes, and like, the only two brushes I used were these two. I have more, but tend not to use them. Oh, and this, of course. But these are like just basic stuff. Really, it's not that hard. You just have to kind of make a bit of time in the day to do it. And as a disclaimer, I don't believe either way is more pretty or more beautiful. I just like putting on makeup sometimes because I can be like, I want to wear gold on my eyes today. Or like, you know what, I'm feeling like I want to have shimmery pink everywhere. Like really, that's why I put on makeup. I don't put it on to impress anyone or to like make myself feel better about myself. I put it on because I like it. I like it, and yeah, it's fun. So go out there, have some fun with your makeup. Yeah, why not? Yeesh.